You wake before the house does. That's how it's always been. The servants' corridor is still dark when you dress, the stone floor cold through thin soles. Somewhere above you, behind heavy doors and silk curtains, the family sleeps, untouched by the early hour, untouched by effort. You are already working. The house smells of polish and coal smoke. Yesterday's fire is dead, today's must be lit. The silver must be cleaned again, even though no one will notice. It's meant to shine quietly, like you. You've learned how to walk without sound, how to breathe without announcing yourself. You serve one of the most powerful families in the city. Politicians, industrialists, men whose names appear in newspapers and speeches. You know their schedules better than they do, but to them, you are invisible, and that is exactly why you hear everything. Servant life in the early 1900s is built on routine. Up before dawn, work until late evening, sleep just enough to stand again tomorrow. Your job is simple. Keep the house running so the family never has to think about it. You carry trays without spilling. You press clothes without creases. You open doors before anyone asks. You eat in the basement or the kitchen, never upstairs. You speak when spoken to, briefly. The pay is steady, which is more than most people can say. But the cost is quiet erosion. Your name fades. You become boy or girl or you there. And yet, you learn things. You learn which conversations end when certain doors open, which smiles are genuine, and which are rehearsed. The family believes privacy lives upstairs. They forget that walls carry sound, that servants clean studies, that footmen wait outside doors. They forget that power always leaks. And one night, while clearing glasses after dinner, you hear something you were never meant to hear. It begins like any other evening. Dinner runs long, cigars are lit, voices loosen. You stand near the wall, eyes lowered, holding a tray. They forget you are there. A guest speaks quietly. A name is mentioned. A minister, then another, a factory owner. Money changes hands on paper, not in envelopes. You hear words like shipment, delay, accident. At first it sounds like business, then it doesn't. Someone laughs nervously. There's talk of a train, a scheduled inspection, a problem that would solve itself if certain brakes failed at the right moment. You realize this isn't gossip, this is a plan, a real one. Lives are being discussed the way menus are. The room grows warm, your hands tighten around the tray. You do not react. That's the most important thing. Servants who react stop being servants. You leave the room exactly as expected, but the house feels different now, smaller, heavier. You understand something that night. You are standing closer to power than you ever have before, and power has no idea you're listening. You don't sleep. You replay every word. Who said what? Who nodded? Who stayed silent? You understand the risk immediately. If you speak, you could lose your position. If you're wrong, you could ruin lives. If you're right, someone could die. Servants aren't meant to interfere. They're meant to observe, but observation has consequences. The next morning, you notice things you didn't before. A letter sealed too carefully. A man waiting by the gate who shouldn't be there. A sudden change in travel plans. You realize the plot isn't distant, it's moving. You consider telling another servant, then stop. Fear spreads faster than truth. You consider going to the authorities, then laugh quietly at yourself. Who would believe you? You're invisible. Then you remember something small, the chauffeur. He talks, he listens, and he owes you a favor. You choose your words carefully, not accusations, not panic, just enough truth to slow things down. A missed connection, a delayed departure, a message rerouted, nothing dramatic, just interference. The plan begins to unravel quietly. A train inspection is rescheduled. An official falls ill, genuinely this time. A key meeting is postponed. You never confront anyone. You simply adjust the world around them. You place a letter on the wrong desk. You clean a study too early. You mishear instructions that shouldn't have been spoken aloud. Power depends on precision. You introduce friction. The conspirators grow tense. Voices sharpen. Blame circulates. Eventually, the plan collapses under its own weight. Too many eyes. Too many delays. The family never knows why. They complain about inefficiency. They fire a minor associate. Life continues. And no one thanks you, because no one knows. That's the price of shadow power. The house returns to routine. Silver is polished. Doors are opened, meals are served, but you are no longer the same. You know now that history isn't only shaped by speeches and wars, it's shaped in corridors, in kitchens, in moments no one records. You never rise in rank, you never receive praise, but people live, and the plot never happens. Sometimes you wonder what would have happened if you'd stayed silent. Then you stop. That path doesn't matter anymore. History remembers the powerful, the wealthy, the loud, the visible. It rarely remembers servants, but servants hear everything. They see the machinery behind the curtain. They understand something the powerful often forget. Control doesn't always belong to those who speak. Sometimes it belongs to those who listen. You didn't stop a plot with force. You stopped it with timing, with silence, with the advantage of being overlooked. And that may be the most dangerous position of all, because when no one sees you, no one stops you.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like and subscribe. We make videos that expose the real moves behind the biggest wins and the biggest failures in history. This is Franchise, where business and stories come alive.